Welcome to this week's episode of Cables, Coffee, and Curveballs with your hosts, the BaldAVGuys.
Hey, listeners. Welcome to episode 3, season 2. I think I flipped that. Season 2, episode 3 of Coffee, Cables, and Curveballs. We have a very, very special episode for you, as always. But before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to our homie Sharaf from Jabra for sending us this Panacast 20 camera that you're watching us on today, as well as the Speak 75 speakerphone. Not gonna lie, it was a very easy setup. I plugged it in. I used it for a Zoom meeting earlier. It's really plug and play, like he said. I'm not gonna lie. He also put up a fantastic video with his dad.
Yes, he did.
Yep. Shout out to Jabra for sending this.
Yes.
Also, another shout out. Rich, you want to talk about this coffee real quick?
Yes. We got some coffee from our upcoming guest here from the West Coast, who's going to introduce herself in 20 seconds or so. Gwipipia. So we want to shout out our West Coast California folks, because the only two, Joe Way and our guest who's going to introduce herself now, that have sent us coffee. So thank you so much, and take it away, Susan.
Well, thank you very much. I am super excited to be here. My name is Susan Wilhite. I've been in the AV industry, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. You know, it all blends together after a while.
Yep.
And just like everybody else, I stumbled into it, you know, hey, there's a job, let me try that. So super excited to be here. I currently work for a company called Bluefin, which I just started this new position back in August, working for Frank Paisano and his team. So really excited to be in the digital signage space. It's something new to me, but I love it because it's their touch things, their wow, you know, it's fun stuff.
Yep.
And I'm also heavily involved in WAVIT, Women in AV and IT. I'm one of the founders of Women.
Cheers.
Women in AV and IT. And I actually still have been heavily involved in AVIXA Women's Council. I am the LA Orange County co-leader with Tammy Fuquay. So
awesome. Speaking of LA, that's where we just met you about a month ago, give or take.
Yes.
It's been a month, which feels like ages ago.
Yes.
We met through Gina. Any friend of Gina is a friend of ours, and we became immediate friends.
It was
on the spot.
Yeah. Again, shout out to the ETC annual conference and the wonderful current president of that organization.
Is that shameless self-promotion?
I love it. I love it.
But you know, we were days before the event, we were talking to Gina, and Gina was like, "Are you guys going to be out there? When are you going out?" And we're like, "Oh," she was like, "What are you doing for dinner with friends?" Which is a very critical part of the event. And where Rich and I were like, you know, we're sports guys, so like we're really thinking about going to the Dodger game. And Gina was like, "So let's do this."
Yep.
And that's where we met you, and we're so glad we did, because man, that was such a fun night. And you know,
It was. It's always fun to see people from the East Coast come to LA, and George was wowed by the number of palm trees. You know, doesn't take much squirrel, you know.
The squirrels were very different. I'll digress, but the squirrels looked very different in LA. I don't know why. But like, you know, the other thing about LA, and I'm not gonna ever complain about New York traffic. You know, I mean, I probably will, but I'll think about this in the future. Is, you know, we were about 5 miles away from Dodger Stadium, and it took us about 45 minutes to get there, and then it took us 45 minutes to get back as well.
Well, it might have been the person that was driving too, but oh wait, that was me.
No. Your New York style driving was the only thing that kept me sane in that traffic. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But that's something that takes getting used to, man.
Yep.
But besides that, you know, 6-lane highway and cars just sitting still blew my mind.
Yeah. Two biggest takeaways from the Dodger game before I want to start getting into some fun tech stuff. One, we saw was it a duck flying around?
Yes.
And two, we thought we saw a drone, but it turns out it was just bubbles.
Yes.
So
Rich was enamored.
I was enamored with the drone.
Wild.
But we were both looking at it like, this really looks like a drone, and then it popped, and then it was gone, and I was very confused.
Full disclosure, I was like, what are they looking at? I was nodding my head. I was like, I don't see anything.
Yeah.
AV in the wild, you really thought it was.
Right,
Yeah.
like, so we could have pawned that off on our students as, the video I have, it does look like a drone, but then it pops at the end. So I would have had to just chop the end off.
Yeah,
But
and
we
Lex
could-
had
What would have been better is if that flying duck had a camera on it and was flying around.
Now you're talking. Now you're.
You're saying the same thing.
Whoa. Lex did have that wonderful video of the duck being stuck in the stadium, which was hilarious.
Yes.
Poor duck. But
Poor duck.
Poor duck.
also, Dodger dog. Mixed feelings.
Jury's out.
Yeah, I was okay with that. Now I can say that I had it at least. I didn't know anything about it until we went there. So,
But all right.
All right.
So also, first of all, you're our first digital signage guest on. I just realized that earlier today. So welcome to the first guest as digital signage.
I love it. I love being the first of something.
Do you want to tell us a little about Bluefin?
Absolutely. I would love to. So Bluefin's been around for about 15 years and has been doing digital signage. What I really drew me to this company is some of, let me step back here. So Bluefin actually specializes in manufacturing custom digital signage solutions for retail, restaurants, the commercial AV world, pro AV world. And what I really liked about the company was because they've been doing digital signage for over 15 years, they actually own and operate the manufacturing in China. So we can do anything custom. We have our own dedicated design and engineering team, and we have a US-based sales and support team. So that's what, and I get to work with Frank Paisano. People who don't know him, you need to.
Yeah, I've heard that name quite a bit. I guess I'll admit it. I've never met Frank in person, so I think I need to figure out a way to introduce.
Sounds like George needs an intro.
I need an intro.
I need an
Did you say
intro.
that?
I need an intro.
We found someone that George has not met. Wow.
Right? Unbelievable.
Well, I've heard the name quite a bit, and it seems like everyone in our circles knows him. But
Everywhere in LA that I went, everybody's like, "Oh, I already know him. I met him, yesterday," because he talks to everybody. He's like a little kid. I need a leash when we go out somewhere. I got to keep him,
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's switch gears slightly. We want to talk a lot about WAVIT. We're big supporters. We've done a lot of work with Gina, and we've been pushing our students in our class, which we'll talk about our AV class in a little bit as well. Our class breakdown actually is about 60-40 so far for the first two classes as far as female is concerned. So that's, exactly, we're really stoked about that. And I'm a girl dad of two young girls, so that makes me happy as well. And George and I really want to continue to be involved with the WAVIT initiatives and everything that you guys are building with that. So do you want to tell us a little bit about WAVIT? I know we had Gina on in season 1. She told us about it, but now actually it's about a year later.
Yeah, it's about a year later. So
it's probably a good time for a
refresher.
WAVIT update in general and, just some of the initiatives that are going on that end.
Yeah, absolutely. So a bunch of different women we got together. A lot of the women that have started WAVIT actually have been in the commercial AV industry for years, and have joined different organizations. There's a lot of different women's organizations out there, and I do have to, like I said, I do have to give kudos for AVIXA Women's Council. That has really propelled my career. But I wanted to continue to give back and take it up a level. And so that's where we started WAVIT, Women in AV and IT. And our real focus is to support and empower women. We want to focus on education, recruiting young and new women into this industry, and then retaining these women. We have several different strategic initiatives, whether it's connecting employees with candidates, offering educational seminars, mentorship, partnering alliances with other trade associations. For example, Digital Signage Expo is in December, and we are doing WAVIT is sponsoring a luncheon with a panel of different women. So we're really working on bringing, awareness to women in AV and IT. We have actually, and I don't know if you guys want me to get into this yet, but I can touch briefly on it. We can go in. I'd love to go into it more detail. We're partnering with Pace University and the AV minor, which is really, really exciting. So we're trying to.
You heard about that, huh?
I may have heard a little bit about it, So, we can talk about that too. We're trying to support women, create awareness, create programs that not only are physical programs, but also maybe mental well-being programs. I've built an AV tribe, and every once in a while, you need to check in with each other, and it helps. But we've also created an internship program, and that's what we're launching with American Music and Sound, which is we're working with Pace.
Yes.
Yep, some exciting stuff. We have 9 different committees, so there's lots of ways to get involved, and maybe we can put a link at the end of WAVIT, so you can go to our website and check that out.
And we spoke to our chair, and we're going to promote it and try to get some of our students that are in our class now or last semester, and see if we can get them to. There are a few students specifically in our mind that we know we can reach out to for sure. And it really is. It's interesting how when I came into this industry, let's.
It's been 84 years.
Yeah.
I won't go back to put that meme up now.
Yeah, now that.
Oh, excellent. Sorry, I had to do it.
You started when you had hair? Oh, sorry, I had to go there too. Sorry.
Actually,
yeah. Rich still did not.
Fair.
But
Yeah.
I've never known Rich with hair. That's crazy to think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do we have pictures?
There's pictures.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen like one picture of him.
Yeah. Our students the other night didn't believe that there was pictures of me with hair.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to find some for next week. Yeah.
There's that squirrel again.
Squirrel. George and his squirrel and his palm trees.
It's back when I started meeting folks in the industry and when we went to restaurant and stuff. It never crossed my mind, at least back then. But then as time went on, we started noticing that the industry is what it is. Everyone in the industry is fantastic, but I think there needs to be more. We feel there needs to be more representation from women, from more of a diverse crowd. So we are big supporters of that. Actually, and I'm going to put her on the spot again. CC, our student, she was the reason that we're so encouraged by this process. Susan, her major was different, and she took our class just because I think she was like, oh, need an elective, let me go take this course. And she took our course last semester, and now she's changing majors. She came to our ETC regional conference in the city. She took it from classes. She's going to be speaking to the high school students events that's happening. And she's like really gung ho.
And she works for George now too.
And now she works
in the AV department.
Awesome.
And she's like really excited and gung ho to be a part of this community. And I'm like, you just got to graduate, and we're gonna make you the most popular person in AV.
That's awesome. So I want to take a step back because I want to make sure that we talk about American Music and Sound is offering an internship, which I think you guys now have all the details on.
Yes.
So the program is a actual paid internship. The candidate will receive, full benefits, meaning their insurance benefits, wellness incentive programs, EPA, 401k matching. The job basically is working with the marketing department. So responsibilities of market research, developing and maintaining like social media calendar for AMS, assisting in the social media marketing content, coordination of commercial events and trade shows. So they're really going to get a really great understanding of, this AVIXA Pro AV world out there, because they're going to help coordinate with the events manager and trade show manager of logistics and promotional items and sales organization support and all of that. So we joined forces with AMS, and we actually have this link to this job on our WAVIT website. And as I said, I think you guys have had conversations with other people on our team, Brandy Alvarado Miranda, Gina Sanzavera, about how you guys have the details, and we are looking for someone that is a college student. And did I freeze again? Nope.
You're back. You're back.
I'm back.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, because I was noting that down as you started talking about that. We spoke to, was it Brandy we were on a call with the other day? I think it was the press release was being done, and we gave us the inside track on that. So we have a couple students in mind that we definitely at least want to encourage them to apply, especially given the flexibility of the fact that it's it's a remote position, and it could be based anywhere. I know it's based out of California, but it could be based anywhere. Like you said, benefits paid. So we have a couple students in mind. We're definitely going to get the word out here at Pace, and we're hoping, at a minimum, it's an experience for them to go through the interview process, right? And get their feet wet get their foot in the door and get their name out there, even if this isn't the position for them. But we definitely hope that this could be, this is the beginning of hopefully a beautiful partnership.
Susan, I'm looking at some of the notes that Rich has on here, and I'm going to go off.
Oh my goodness.
It's not too crazy.
He's gonna go totally off script now.
I'm going off
Yes,
script
I
a little
love
bit,
it.
but it's nothing crazy. It's a simple question. So, starting something like WAVIT, right? I'm sure it's something that you've thought about for a while, and other folks have thought about for a while. How were you? What was that final push, that final motivation to say, you know what? This is what we need. I want to make this happen.
I think we saw a lack in the industry. Like I said, there's actually, besides the Women's Council, there's Gals and Gears, there's women in technology, there's women in consumer technology. There's a lot of groups out there. I encourage people to check out all the groups. Hopefully they check out WAVIT, where it was just a couple of us got together and we really felt the need, and we're like, instead of talking about it, just do it. And that's how we got started. Let's just get started. And I think we're still, this is our first internship that we've partnered with somebody. We're hoping that more people come to us. I've started posting more jobs on my LinkedIn profile, and people now are pinging me about jobs where I used to just send them to friends that I knew that were looking for jobs. But, this year at Infocom, Avixa put out that women represent 11% of the industry. That is actually down from 14% that they announced in 2019 before the pandemic. So, I think I've felt very fortunate that I've had great mentors and, my AV besties, my tribe, that have helped, lift me up and given me mentorship and career guidance. And that's where, we all want to just pay it back and pay it forward. And if there's, it would be nice to see young, fresh blood in this industry, whether it's male or female, So it's great to offer an opportunity like this. But, getting back to your question, I think you talk to everybody that's on the board of WAVIT, we're all passionate about something. And I think that passion drew into hey, let's just do it ourselves.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the board right now. That is one powerful group. That is, congratulations. That's fantastic.
So what I want to pivoting, not even pivoting, obviously you mentioned the decline in representation from 14 to 11%. So obviously George and I are trying to do our part to be, push that and get more females involved in the industry. And again, so that internship is one way. So I think part of the reason why George asked you about, getting something like this off the ground is we're trying to get something off the ground right now as well.
You know what I think about it.
I'm kind of in his head. So we're trying to get a nonprofit off the ground that has to do with experiential learning. But we're really looking to keep it very broad in the sense that we want not only higher ed, not only industry partners, we're also going to be going into the K-12 realm. And we want to be able to reach the younger generations and reach them at a younger age. Was it James King told us that young females make decisions on their career paths, like a study showed by third grade, which my daughter is in third grade. So I'm my mind was blown when I heard that. So we met with Rosie Rivetas the other day, and we're actually been talking to them about going to an event in February here in New York at a local
Bronx, yeah.
K through 12 school in the Bronx, and being a part of that, and the STEM programs that they're encouraging for and building for young students out there. And that's another push that we're making. George alluded to it before. We're also doing an event here at Pace in November. At the end of November, we're having a bunch of local high schools come, and Gina actually is going to be on the panel. And we're going to be talking WAVIT and talking, the path to an AV career, and showing kids that it's not always a technical path either. That there's a lot of different ways to get into the AV realm, and to basically just introduce them to the fact that there are other options out there, and it's a field, $408 billion industry by 2028.
I'm going to get a T-shirt that says 2028, $408 billion AV. It's going to be
go.
So people understand.
We'll all wear it.
Yeah, we can wear it. Let's all wear it.
Only $29.99.
Plus shipping and handling.
Plus shipping and handling.
But wait, I'm going to double the offer. Sorry, guys.
Anyways.
For one, buy one, get one.
Buy one, get one.
That works.
But except when you buy one, get one, it's really $40, $39.99.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. We'll probably should edit that out. But yeah. So our goal is the larger and the growth, the stories of Susan, George, Rich, and everybody else in the AV industry that, I stumbled into the industry. And this is a common theme that we're noticing across the board, right? We do have the occasional audio engineer. Shout out to Georgia King, who will eventually be on the show with us. She's one of my staff members in the New York City campus. A new hire. Well, she's been here for a year, so I don't know if it's new. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So this happens to me a lot. The objective is really to grow a path where students, male, female, doesn't matter, actually has a learning path that can graduate. We're never going to flatten the curve, right? That's my point. We're never going to, but we could lower the curve. So someone that goes into the field day one, you're not completely shocked, or you're not burning your hands soldering a cable, or whatever it is, right? Just you have a little understanding before you go into the field. So when someone tells you, give me HDMI cable, or give me a Cat 6 cable, they're not looking at you like, what's that? Mm-hmm. So that's our goal. And, reaching out to events like this that we're working with Road Zero Riveters, our program, and working with WAVIT, that's our, it's really is our end goal. But thank you so much for helping us along the way.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, we, like you said, we just met like a month ago in person,
Yes.
And I was just amazed to hear that you guys had, I didn't even know until I met you that you guys were Pace University was offering an AV minor. I actually got a computer science degree, and I don't use it. But the thing was, by the time I got to my senior year, I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this, I want to maybe explore a different way. But I had one of those dads that was like, it's not the 5-year program, it's the 4-year program. So I did graduate with a computer science degree, but I was like, I'd rather be on the business development sales side. But I guess that's my curiosity in me, that I love to learn. And I wish something was offered like this when I was growing up.
Yeah, but I'm looking at something on here as a note that's like really blowing my mind, and I want to know more about this, Susan. Is created and organized the first Fry's Electronic Midnight Release event for World of Warcraft 3 and the expansion pack. Let's talk about that.
Awesome. So I actually, when I graduated, I got really great advice from a neighbor that he's like, it doesn't matter what your degree is, just go in and do anything. So I applied for a job. And at the time it was Davidson and Associates. They made Math Blaster. I'm dating myself, if you remember Math Blaster. And they owned a company called Blizzard, which was Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo.
Yeah.
So I was in sales and calling on the retail side, and Blizzard's headquarters were down in Irvine, and Fry's Electronics is actually no longer in business.
Yeah.
But when they were around, they had, mostly West Coast stores. And one of them was in Irvine, and the director was like, hey, can we do a midnight grand opening? I'm like, sure. And since it was right in the backyard of Blizzard's headquarters, I got a bunch of developers to come over. And what we ended up doing is we ended up making 3 different cover boxes for the same product. So people came in the store and bought all 3 boxes, even though it was the same game. And then they went through and they had, the developers sign it. And it actually turned out to be a really great night because there was a big plasma screen that was like $8,000 that someone bought. And the director was very pleased that we did a midnight grand opening. And that's what I say, think outside the box, you know?
Yeah. So that was the origin of all these kids waiting outside of stores for shoe drops and video game drops, with putting out camping tents and what's not.
Take that credit, Susan. Take that credit. That's so Fry's was our Circuit City, right? Because it's no longer in existence, and unfortunately, I think Best Buy is going to join them soon, right? Because these brick and mortar stores can't hold up against Amazon
crazy.
Anymore.
I heard Amazon is starting a brick and mortar store.
Well,
why not?
I guess that makes sense, right?
Why not?
Yeah. So. All right, we like to do a couple fun things on the show in addition to, we talk some tech, right? So let's do some fun things. First, we always talk about what the national day is when we record. So today, October 20th, when we're recording, is National Chicken and Waffles Day. So George had a little tidbit here on that.
You're talking about my tidbit, right?
Yeah, George's tidbit. You're George.
Yeah.
Here's your tidbit.
The first time I had chicken and waffles, if you've heard about it so much, right? It just doesn't make sense. It's a meal that doesn't make any sense. How can you have chicken and waffles and syrup? It just doesn't make sense. And I think first we had in Orlando for Infocom. And then when we were in California for ETC board meet, we had it. And it was something. It was fried chicken, there was waffle, there was syrup, there was fruits, and it all just made sense for some reason the moment you just kind of dig into it. And it was, so that's my, it's very, very fitting that it's Chicken and Waffle Day. I had it in California. You're from California.
Nice. You're making me hungry. Good thing we're recording before lunch. I may have to go get some chicken and waffles for lunch.
Yum.
I want chicken and waffles.
Now I want chicken and waffles.
I did that to myself.
You did that to yourself. It's okay.
So happy National Chicken and Waffle Day.
National Chicken and Waffle Day. Another fun thing we like to do with our guests is we have this really cool session called Streaming Season. And we call it Streaming Season. We make it
it's him.
It's SZN, like how the kids, do acronyms and stuff. And George came up with that, obviously, because he's so cool and hip.
No shot.
We like to ask our guests what they're watching. Could be movies on TV. Obviously, there's not a lot of new shows on right now with everything. So
I would like to say, Gopesh, can you rewind and get some video footage of Rich trying to say fleek and slaps and throw this in the segment so we can see who really.
We're going back a year now, but let's let Susan tell us what she's watching, or what a recent movie. We usually leave it pretty open ended. We're not too strict on that.
Well, right now I'm currently watching The Bear on Hulu.
Oh yes, excellent.
Love it.
Those are fleek. Those are all definitely on fleek, bro.
I actually last week my nephew, he's a senior at University of Utah, and he was out. It was their spring break, and he was out, and so we started watching it. So we actually now, when we text or we talk, we're yes, chef. Thank you, chef. So we call each other chef. That's our inside joke.
Yeah, I love it.
That is such a good show.
Love it.
And are you all caught up on season 2 as well, or?
No, I'm halfway through, so don't give anything away.
No spoilers. I'm just saying it's a great show. It's a great show.
Yep.
Although the character, did you watch Shameless at all or no?
I did years ago. Yeah.
So the main character is Philip Gallagher. I feel like it's the same character and he's just in a different situation going through the same. Yeah. Oh, it's such a good show. Such a good show. What are you watching?
I am watching not much right now.
Yeah, this writer's strike is a problem.
There's nothing really on right now. I've been watching. It's called Transplant. I might have mentioned that last time. I don't know. It's like one of the only shows that has new episodes on right now. It's one that my wife and I started watching, I don't know, a year ago. One of those medical shows that you watch it and it's like, it's pretty good. You get hooked on it. It's on your DVR and you watch it. But usually I have a show like every night, Monday through Thursday, and right now there's like nothing on, and I
He's
have
got a lot of time on his hands.
well, not a lot of that, but you know, on the weekends catch up. I don't have anything to catch up on right now, so I'm hoping that they start pumping out some new episodes of stuff soon. You know,
Yeah, I finished Only Murders in the Building.
Those slap. No cap.
I watched that. Yep.
I should circle back to that.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah.
Finished
What do you,
Bear.
and I don't want to. Oh, I guess maybe I shouldn't give any spoiler alerts. I think it got better at the end.
Yes,
For sure.
All right,
I
I'm
think
going to
they
circle
finished
back.
well.
I'm gonna circle
And they did leave for season 4, so you know.
Oh,
Yes.
of course they did.
Yes.
But in a good way. So
Okay,
but you know, the whole writer strike, they just need to start coming out with new stuff. 'Cause,
Yeah.
man, what do you do with your free time these days?
Read a book.
Wow. Make a movie out of it soon enough. Why read?
All right. Another fun thing we do. Last year we did bald jokes because I mean, bald
Why
AV
not?
guys makes a lot of sense.
I'm sorry for blinding you off the
Yes.
reflection, by the way.
I
The
know you're
lights are
not.
pretty.
Fine.
This year we pivoted to dad jokes because the bald jokes we didn't run out of them, but they started to get a little cheesy. And I also found a dad joke account on Instagram that I follow now, so I feel like I have a lot of fresh dad jokes week to week. So
Yeah.
you wanna start? I'll give you.
Yeah, I'll
first
kick
pick.
it off.
I'll give you first pick.
I'll kick it off. Hey, Rich,
Yo,
how good are you at PowerPoint?
I excel at it.
Is that a Microsoft Office pun?
Word.
I have no words. But
I have a good one for you too.
all right, hit me.
George, I spent my entire life savings on pasta.
What the? Why?
Not really sure, but it was worth every penny.
Dun-dun-dun.
We need the soundboard.
soundboard.
Yes.
Best will take care of that.
we
Best will take care of that.
We picked a super secret location because it was raining outside and we
Yeah.
didn't want
Yeah, we didn't want to
to
walk.
walk over to the studio.
Fair. We always
I
put
have
our
a
guests
dad
on the
joke.
spot. Do you? Yeah, I was gonna say every time we ask, nobody has one. So like, do you have one?
Well,
Let's do it.
Well, the first thing I thought of is I remember as a little kid, I used to be like, "Hey, Dad, I'm hungry," and he'd always be like, "Hi, hungry, I'm Dad." You know?
Perfect. I love it.
That's the OG dad
That's
joke.
that is a classic.
That is
That is
great.
a
Yeah.
classic. And I'm going to use that because my daughters do that to me from the time they wake up in the morning to the time they go to sleep,
Wow.
especially the
Yeah.
little one.
There's a guy on Instagram, Jeremy. It's called Jeremy from TikTok, and he has his kid tell all these jokes.
Yep.
I would have told you a couple but some of them may be a little dirty, so you may not understand. We'll
Yep,
keep-
I know exactly who you're talking about. I love that. I think we follow him as well on our socials. But
But
he is,
I
that
did.
is a funny
I did
one.
look one up too.
All right, good. Two
what did-
for the price of one. Bonus.
Yep. What did the ocean say to the beach? Nothing. It just waved.
Well done.
I like
Well
that.
done.
We were
Write
both
that
looking at each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to note to self.
I figured I had to do something because I live by the beach. I'm on the
Okay,
Pacific
that's good.
side, you know.
The coffee, now the double jokes.
Look at
Susan,
that.
You're setting the bar really high for the rest of our guests.
Well,
Yeah.
episode
That's
2,
the
you
fault.
had Dan Farisi, so I mean, like
Super Dan.
Super Dan. You know,
Yeah.
I'll be Woman. He'll be Super Dan.
Love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, now we're going to have to find a picture
Now
of
we
you
have-
and make you Superwoman.
Yeah.
Susan. Go Pesh. Superwoman. Wonder Woman. Susan, where can, first of all, George is going to thank you in a second, but where can folks reach out to you, find you, connect with you after they hear you on the BaldAVGuys?
I am actually on LinkedIn, Susan Wilhite,
Awesome.
under Bluefin. You can find me that way too. I do have a Twitter account too. I think and I probably should have looked it up. I think it is either SM Wilhite or S Wilhite. So
Awesome.
Cool. Susan, thank you so much for joining us today. But like I said, coffee,
Yeah.
dad jokes,
Double
man.
dad jokes. and
Double
coffee.
dad
That's
jokes.
Tough act to follow.
I know you said we met only a month ago, but it really we clicked right away. It
Yeah.
feels like I've known you forever.
same. Thank you guys. I feel honored to be on here. Only
Yeah.
knowing you guys for a month, and I'm on episode number 3 of season 2.
Yeah, and it would have been episode 2 if we didn't get rained out in New York,
Yeah.
just like today.
Yeah.
So
And game show coming soon. The Dodger crew is going to be coming on the BaldAVGuys game show.
How about
We're
that?
trying to get that organized soon. So we'll see. We'll see you again soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, we'll get
Yeah.
something on the
Yay.
calendar.
I'm
That's going to
super
be a fun
excited.
one.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
And really, really genuinely thank you for joining the show.
Yep.
Hope to see you again in person soon. We'll definitely have you on the show and all these things, but we'd love to see you in person again. So if you're this side of the US, let us know.
Absolutely, I will. And if you're out here in the West, I'm your girl.
I absolutely will let you know.
We will.
And on that note, Rich,
Be kind.
stay steady,
Help someone.
checking on an old friend. Until then,
Have a good cup of Joe.
on
On
us.
Take care.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, this has been a BaldAVGuys production. Take care.